The more civilized constitutional formalities will take place on Friday morning, after the spectacle of election night. Most likely, the king will drive Sir Keir Starmer down the mall to extend an invitation to form a government. Typically, the alleged kissing of hands goes down without a hitch. The appointment of prime ministers typically takes place at Buckingham Palace. However, H.S. Squiff made history in 1908 when he had to go by boat and train to Biarritz, France, where Edward VIII, the king, was on vacation. Even at these high-minded ceremonial times, however, there is potential for behind-the-scenes disputes and conflicts due to the whims of our unwritten constitution. This has been demonstrated by the first-ever insider report of a struggle between government legal experts and the palace during the 2015 general election. Edward Young, the sovereign's principal private secretary from 2017 to 2023, describes the incident as a constitutional pickle in an article published in the inaugural edition of the Hayward Quarterly, a new free public policy journal named in honor of and named after the late former cabinet secretary Jeremy Hayward. He remembers how everyone was taken aback by David Cameron's victory in the 2015 general election, which came as a surprise to many given his 5 years of coalition government with the Liberal Democrats and his majority of 11. According to Young, as the PM's car left Downing Street to visit the Queen, the government's legal team and the palace, which the Queen supported, had quite different opinions on what Cameron ought to say when he got back to No 10. According to Young, there was an equal divide in opinion regarding what he should say to the Queen. Some thought he should say, "I have been to see Her Majesty the Queen, who has just invited me to form a majority Conservative government," while others thought he should say, "I have been to inform her that I will form a majority Conservative government." Young merely states that the palace and the attorneys disagreed, without disclosing which side they supported. It appears that there was conflict about whether Cameron was just keeping his position as Prime Minister or if he was actually taking on a new role as leader of a majority administration. If the former, all he would have to do was notify the Queen. If the latter, she would typically extend an invitation for him to establish a government. Young adds, "I am too diplomatic to say who held which position, but time was short. The mall was being accelerated by the PN's convoy. There had to be a way out. We discovered it by consulting Agatha Christie's book. An unarticulated ellipsis was used. Hence, the Prime Minister said, 'I will now form a majority Conservative government. I have just returned from seeing Her Majesty the Queen.'"